Okay, so we are going to be starting with the remaining topics of OpenOffice Writer. Now, as we have already seen in the previous class, the various features which are available in OpenOffice Writer, we are going to continue with that and see the remaining features. Now, for that, let me just get some text. Let me just copy some text from somewhere so that I can show you and demonstrate the things to you. So I'm just going to go to another file and copy some text from here. So let me just take one paragraph from here. That's it. And I go back to my writer and I paste it over here. So in the last class, you had seen that we can change the font and the style and color of the font and all those things. Today, we are going to be looking at the other properties of it. So you will find that as I have this paragraph over here, on the right-hand side, in this properties window, I've got, apart from the text property, I've got some other properties also. So for example, you've got paragraph alignment property. There are various alignments which are possible. One of them is left align. Then you've got center align. Then you've got right align and justified. So let's look at what exactly these are. This right now is left aligned. This I had explained to you in the last class. Then we go to the center aligned where the space is equally distributed on both the sides. And then we have right align where the text is aligned to the right margin and the extra space is left on the left hand side. And then we have got the fourth alignment, which is justified. So in justified alignment, the space is equally distributed between the words. There are shortcut keys for doing this. We must know those shortcut keys also. So what are the shortcut keys? For left alignment, it is Control L. For center alignment, it is Control E. For right alignment, it is Control R. And for justified, it is Control J. So these are the shortcut keys for aligning this paragraph. Let's go to the next topic. In the next, we have the background color for the paragraph. So this is our paragraph. Let's copy this paragraph and make two paragraphs. So I'm just going to press enter. I've pressed enter twice and I have copied this particular paragraph. So I've got two paragraphs over here. I keep my cursor over here and then I click on this and change the paragraph background color. So I'm changing it to this green color. Can you see that there's a change in the background of this paragraph? It does not change the background color of the entire page, only that particular paragraph where my cursor was. Now, let's go to the next paragraph and change to some other color. So we will change this to, say, light yellow. So there are two different paragraphs and two different background colors. Now, the question might be, what about the space in between? Where does that go? Now, that is also a separate paragraph because the moment you press enter key, it starts a new paragraph for you. So since you press the enter key over here, you have started a new paragraph. So if you're going to keep a cursor over here and then go to paragraph and select a different color from here, it'll give a different color to that particular paragraph. Now, how do we know that where are the paragraphs starting and where are the paragraphs ending? So it's very easy for us to know that. I'll just keep some other color over here, light color. About this, we have got a feature called as hidden characters. You can see these hidden characters. You can go to view and then you have got the option over here, non-printing characters. You can also get this by pressing Ctrl and F10. Or you have got one more option of seeing the hidden characters. That is by clicking on this particular button over here on the toolbar. So there are three different ways in which you can see the hidden characters. One is click on view, go to non-printing characters. It will show you all the hidden characters which are not printed, but they are actually present on your document. The second way is by pressing Control and F10 on your document. So the moment you press Control and F10, it shows all those hidden characters. So let me click on this. You will be able to see that there are special characters which have appeared on the screen now. This special symbol, this is a character for starting a paragraph. This is a character for starting the paragraph. In between, you will find there are dots. Now, these dots are indicating the space. Similarly, there is a character for the tab key. So if I'm going to press the tab key over here once, you will find a special character coming on the screen. So if I enter roll number over here, then I press the tab key, I press it twice, so I will get two special characters there. Then I have the name of the student, I press tab key twice, then I have class, then tab. So you will find that these are all the special characters. Many times it happens that while we are working and we are moving our mouse, by mistake, we click on this symbol which is present on the toolbar. Or by mistake, we have pressed Control F10. Now, if we have pressed Control F10 by mistake, what is going to happen is that you're going to start seeing these special characters on the screen. So what you need to do is you just need to switch off the special characters which are appearing on a screen. So just click on this button and these characters will stop appearing from your screen. Let's move on to the next topic. I want to make a list of states. So I write Rajasthan, and then I write Uttar Pradesh, and then Gujarat, and then Assam. So these are all the states which we have in our country. But normally we don't write the list like this. We have a special way of writing the list. There are two ways of creating the list. One is called as formatted list and the other one is non-formatted list. Formatted list normally has numbering 1, 2, 3, 4 or A, B, C, D or Roman 1, 2, 3, 4. And non-formatted list or unformatted list has special characters like bullets or arrows and all that. So let us look at this and see how we can create the formatted and non-formatted list. So I'm just going to copy this and make two lists over here to show you the difference between formatted and non-formatted list. So I've just copied the list over here. Two lists I've got. I select the first list and you will find that on the right hand side in properties window, I have got an option called bullets. So from here, from this drop down arrow, I can select the bullets which I want for my list. So I can select any bullet from here. But if I'm not happy with any of these bullets, I can click on more options and see the other bullets which are there. I would just like to select one of the bullet from here. So I just click on this green circle. So you find that there is a change over here in my list. My list has now become a non-formatted bullet list. I can change these bullets if I'm not happy with this and it doesn't suit my document. So I can go back and change the bullet from here. So you can just play around and see which is the best bullet which is suiting the requirement, your document. So that's about the bulleted list. Then you have the second list. Second list, we are going to change to the numbering list or the formatted list. So from here, from the numbering, just next to the bullets, numbering, I click on this and you get a list of numbering which is possible. You can select any kind of numbering you want. 1, 2, 3 with bracket, 1, 2, 3 with dot, 1, 2, 3 with both opening and closing bracket and closed within the brackets. Then Roman 1, 2, 3 in capital, capital ABC, small ABC, small Roman 1, 2, 3. So whichever list you want, you can select that. And if you're not happy with this, you can just go to more option and select other lists from there. You can create your own list also. So I will select one of the list from here and I select 1, 2, 3, the first one itself. So you can see the changes over here. Now, if you want to change, you can just select this, go back to the list and change it from there to Roman 1 to 3. There is another option. You could just select this, and on top, you've got this formatting bar. And from this formatting bar also, you may select the bulleted or numbering list. So I want to change from here to another numbering list. So I can select that. If I want from numbering list, I want to change to bulleted list. I could select this and then click on bulleted. So to change to bulleted list. So whichever is the default bullet, it's going to assign that. And if I want to change the bullet, I will go to the properties window and change the bullet from there, or change the numbering from there. Right? So that's about the bullets and numbering. When you press the enter key, it automatically gives entry in that particular list. But if you don't want that entry, press the enter key once again. The moment you press the enter key for the second time, it automatically understands that you don't want the list to continue further and you would like to stop it here. So it will automatically stop. And now you can start typing the next line. Start typing next paragraph. All right. So that's about the list, bulleted and numbering list. Then we have something called as spacing. You will find that I've got 3 paragraphs over here. Now, what is the space between these paragraphs? Right now, this is the normal spacing which I've got. But if I want to increase the spacing, so I just go on to the right hand side and I've got spacing over here. This is first option is for increase spacing. The second option is for decrease spacing. So I click on increase spacing and you will find that there is the spacing between the paragraphs is increasing. So there's an increase in the spacing between the paragraph. I want to do the same thing with this paragraph. So I keep my cursor over here, click somewhere on this paragraph, and then I increase the spacing. So you'll find that spacing it is increasing. And you will find that spacing is increasing on both the sides, before the paragraph and after the paragraph. If you want to reduce the spacing, click on the next option, that is decrease spacing. When you click on this, it starts decreasing the spacing between the paragraphs. You will find that it is decreasing before the paragraph and after the paragraph. Both the spacing is getting reduced. I reduce it further. I click on this paragraph and reduce the spacing. So you'll find that this is getting reduced. And I click on the second paragraph and I reduce the spacing. So everything has come closer. So that's about the spacing between the paragraph. Then you can also have, just now what I showed, the spacing, it was affecting both before and after the paragraph. But suppose you want to affect only one of them. That means you want to only increase the spacing before the paragraph, not after the paragraph. So you could go to the next option available over here. And this is the option of before the paragraph. Just below that, it is after the paragraph. That means below the paragraph. And this is above the paragraph spacing. So I increase the spacing above the paragraph. When I increase the spacing above the paragraph, you will find that my cursor was over here. So it has started increasing the spacing before the paragraph. If I want to reduce it, I can reduce it further. I click on this paragraph and I start increasing before the paragraph. I want to reduce, I can just reduce it like this. If I want to increase the spacing after the paragraph, so I select the first paragraph and I start increasing the space after the paragraph. So only the space after the paragraph is getting increased. All right. So that's about the spacing before and after the paragraph. Now let's move on to the next option. We have got before and after spacing, the space before and after the indent. So how much space do you want before and after the indent? You can control that space from here. You could just click on this. So it is going to start increasing the space before this left indent. And if you want to start increasing the space before the right indent, you could just do that from here. So this is going to start increasing the space before the right indent. These are the indents for you. This on top, what you find, this is your left indent and this is your right indent. Okay. I'm just going to bring it back to the normal. Then we move on to the next option. That is the space between the lines. So you've got the next option over here, that is line spacing. So if I click on this, it shows all the spacing between the lines, and I can select the space between the lines from here. So I can change from 1.5 to 2. I can change from 2 to 1. So whatever space I want, as I want on my document, I can just keep changing like that. So that's between the space between the documents. Now we have got the next option over here, that is the first line indent. What is this first line indent? Every paragraph, normally what we do is we have the first line starting, like for example, all those who are in the editorial team, you would know that in the magazine, we normally have the first line of the paragraph starting slightly indented in. So we are going to increase that first line indent. You can keep your cursor anywhere on this paragraph and then increase the first line indent from here. You will find that the first line, on the first line, if you notice, good is moving in. That line is moving in. And rest of the characters are automatically getting adjusted. So this is called as first line indent. You will find that in the next paragraph, I have not given the first line indent. It is as it is. So that's up to you how you want your indenting. If you want the first line indenting over here also, you could just click anywhere on the paragraph and increase the first line indent over here. So that's for formatting your paragraph. Then you must have noticed that I have not touched this indent, decrease, increase, and switch to hanging indent. Switch to hanging indent works only when you have your first line indent activated. I'll show you the difference over here. The second paragraph over here, I'm going to remove the first line indent and I will leave it as the normal paragraph without any first line indent. So it becomes a normal paragraph. I go to the first paragraph and I click on switch to hanging indent. Now this you would have noticed in the editorial or in the newspaper, in the magazines. I click on this switch to hanging indent. You will find that it appears like this. And on this blank area over here, you could have some picture or some image appearing over here. So this is called as hanging indent. It's hanging from this first line. Similarly, second paragraph, I click on this. And if I click on this hanging indent, it does not have any effect. So if you feel that when you're working with the hanging indent, you are trying to activate this hanging indent, but it is not getting activated. So what you need to do is, first thing, you first go to first line indent and increase the first line indent. So whatever amount you give for the first line indent, that is the amount that will be used for hanging indent also. So I give the first line indent over here like this, and then I go to hanging indent, and then I switch to hanging indent. So it gives me the hanging indent like this. Then we have got something called as indent. This can be easily used with any paragraph or any word. If I want this particular line to be indented slightly inwards, I could just keep my cursor anywhere on the line, and I could just click on this increase indent. So you will find that it's getting shifted in. If I still further want to shift it in, I could just click on this again. So after having selected the place, I finalize that this is my indent. But later on, if you decide that no, I should have slightly out, so you could just click on the next option, that is decrease indent. When you click on this, it takes it towards the outer side. So you could just move around like this. Similarly, you could do with any of these. You could just be shifting it. But if I'm talking about the list, then it is slightly different. See, what is going to happen is the moment I click on list, so I'm going to change this Right now, I've got both of them as bulleted list. I will change one of them to numbering list so that we can see the difference. So I'll change this to numbering list. Now over here in this, I keep my cursor on the second option over here in the bulleted list. You will find the moment I click on any of the list, whether it is bulleted or numbering, there is one bar which is appearing on top. Right now, it is not visible because I'm not keeping my cursor on the list. The moment I move my cursor on the list, you will find this bar appearing over here. This is especially for the list. So you can use this bar to move the components or the elements of the list. You could move them in or you could bring them out. So I keep my cursor over here on the second item of the list, and then I click on demote one level. So the moment I demote one level, it just moves it in. And you will find that the numbering has automatically changed. Now, when I demote one level, it has changed to bulleted. If I want to change it to numbering, I could just select from here, go to more option. And from here, I would like to have that it should change to numbering like this, 1.1.1. So I just select this. You will find that it automatically changes Rajasthan, then 1.1, UP. If you're going to keep your cursor over there and press enter, it will automatically change to 1.2. And you can keep on adding your other states over here. Press enter. Press enter. Like this, you can keep on adding. And if you take it still further, like for example, I just remove this element, this entry from here, and I keep my cursor on Maharashtra and I take it in. It has indented further. You will find that the numbering has automatically changed. So like this, you can have nested list. This is called as nested list. One list inside another list. Okay, so that's about the paragraph, indenting, listing, spacing between the lines, spacing between the paragraphs, all that we have done. Giving the background color to the paragraph, that is done. Now we move on to the next option, that is your page. How would you like to change your page? How would you like to set your page? So you just go to the next option, which is page. And from here, you can set the page properties. You can change the orientation from portrait to landscape. So right now, this is portrait. That means it is vertical. And if I want to change from portrait to landscape, I will just click on this and this changes to landscape. What is the difference between them? I will just reduce the zoom in. So you'll be able to see the difference. So I've reduced the zoom in. Now you can see the difference between the portrait and landscape. Just now this is landscape. It's horizontally placed. But if I change to portrait, you will find that it is now vertically placed. The height is more than the width. Whereas in landscape, the height is less than the width. Width is more than the height in landscape. So that's about the orientation of the page. Next, we have margin. Margin, as I said, is the space between the edge of the page and the place from where your text starts appearing on the page. So you see this line over here, the gray line. That is the margin for you. So all the space between the edge of the page and this gray line, that is the margin. So you've got top margin, bottom margin, left margin, and right margin. If you want to change those margins, you will just click on this margin and then change it from here. If you want narrow margin, just click on narrow. You will find that space is reducing. If you want wide margin, click on this and the margins will be increased. The area for typing the text will be reduced. So that's about the margins. Then you can select the size of the page. From here, the third option, you can select change from A4 size to A3 size. You can change from A3 size to A5 size. So whichever size you want, you will just select it from here. Then you have the next option, which is called as column. Normally, one page has got only one column. You will find that it is all appearing in one column itself. This is called as a column. It's all appearing together. But many times there's a requirement. I'll just reduce the margin so that everything is visible. So many times it happens that you have the requirement of two columns on a page. So you can just easily do that. Keep your cursor anywhere on the page and then go to columns. Over here in the columns, you can select whether you want one column, two columns, three columns, left column, right column. I will just show you all these. So I select two columns. The moment I click on two columns, you will find that it is equally divided. The page is equally divided between two columns. If you have requirement for three columns, you could just click on that columns, select three columns. So now I have got three columns on my page. So this is useful while creating the pamphlets or while creating any of the digital documents which you might have for your projects or for your presentation. Now, there is also an option called as left column and right column. So I'm going to select two columns over here. You find that these two columns are equally divided. The first column and second column, they are equally divided. But you also have the option of left column and right column. Left column means the column on the left hand side, the first column will have more space than the column on the right hand side, the second column. So this is left. And you also have the option of right. So if you select right, the first column will have less space and the second column will have more space. So that's about the columns on a page. I go back to one column itself and I go back to portrait orientation and I increase the zoom so that now we start with the next topic. That is changing the case of the characters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this particular line and then go to format. So I select this particular line and then I go to format. And from here, I've got an option called change case. With the help of this change case, I can change the characters. That means, many times it happens that while typing, I typed everything in small case. But later on, I realized that I should have typed everything in capital. Now the problem is, how do I convert all this into capital? I have to delete all that and then type it once again. Or you have already typed everything in capital. Now you want to change to small. So the option is that you delete everything and type everything in small letters. But you don't have to do that if you're working with Writer. You just select that entire text which you want to change, click on format, come to change case and select uppercase from here. So this will help you in changing from lowercase to uppercase. Similarly, if you want to change from uppercase to lowercase, you will just select and then go to format, change case and change it to lowercase. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this entire line and I will make 5 copies of it so that I can show you the difference between all of these. So I paste it once again over here. I paste 5 copies of it. And I'm going to increase the space between these paragraphs, these lines. How do I increase it? Just select these paragraphs and then increase the spacing between the paragraphs. I select the first one and I go to format, change case, and I select uppercase from here. So you'll find that everything is changed to uppercase. Similarly, I will select the next paragraph, the next set of words, and then go to format, change case, and change it to, now lowercase is already there, so I don't have to change it. I will change it to sentence case. Now in sentence case, what happens is the first letter of the first word of the sentence is always capital. So you will find that there's a difference between this line and this line. In this line, the first letter of the first word, that is S of start, has changed to capital. Rest everything is in small. So this is called as sentence case. Now I will select the next line and then go to format, change case, and change it to capitalize every word. When I say capitalize every word, every first character of every word will be capital. Rest all the characters will be in small case. So this is capitalize every word. Then I select the next line and I go to format, change case, and I click on toggle case. What is toggle case? Toggle case works exactly opposite of what is present right now. So right now it was lowercase, everything was lowercase. Now it has changed to uppercase. So it doesn't matter which case you have selected. Right now everything is in capital, and I go to format, change case, and I select toggle case, it changes to small. Then what is the use of it? The use, you will realize, if I change this to say format, change case, and capitalize every word, you will find that this line and this line has become exactly the same. The reason is that I have kept the second line for showing the toggle case. So I select the second line and I go to format, change case, and I select toggle case. You will realize the difference over here. Whatever was capital has become small, and whatever was small has become capital. So for example, if you want to write something like this, e-governance, e-business, and e-learning, after you've typed all this, your teacher tells you that this is not the way we should be writing. We should be writing E small and governance in capital, E small and business in capital, E small and learning in capital. Now, you don't have to sit and delete everything and then type again. Just select and go to format, change case, and just select toggle case over here. It will automatically change it for you. E becomes small and governance becomes capital. E becomes small and business becomes capital. E becomes small and learning becomes capital. So this over here, we have demonstrated change case. All right. Let's move on to the next. The next important thing which you have is inserting an image or a picture, which is very common, very much required whenever you are editing a document. So what I'm going to do is I will go to insert and go to picture. From picture, I select from file. Click on from file. When you click on from file, you will be allowed to select any picture from whatever files you've got. From there, you can just select any picture which you want and then click on open. So the picture will be placed for you. Now, the picture is too big and you don't want it so big. So what you want is you want to reduce the size of it. What you can do is the moment you click your cursor on the picture, you will find that there are some green dots which are appearing on the picture. Now, these green dots are to help you in controlling the size of the picture. What you can do is with the help of these green dots, you can resize the picture. You can increase or decrease the size of the picture. So I'm going to click on this green dot on the edge and start reducing the size of the picture. If you click on the green dot which is there on the horizontal lines, that is the top line and the bottom line, and you click on the middle green dot, you can reduce or increase the size of the picture vertically. So vertically, you can reduce the size of the picture or increase the size of the picture. If you click on the green dot, which is on the left and the right margin of the picture, you could just click on that and reduce and increase the size of the picture horizontally. So you can just reduce the size horizontally and you can increase the size horizontally. But you will find that this is de-shaping your picture. Your picture shape is getting changed. which you don't want. So in that case, the best way is that whenever you're trying to resize the picture, click on the edge. Click on the edge and then resize the picture. It will resize in proportion. But in that also, if you're not keeping your hands steady, then it might happen that it resizes and you get a picture something like this. You want to avoid this kind of a change. So what you can do, the best way is that go back to the original size of the picture, how it was, and click on this edge, the green dot, press the shift key, and then start reducing the picture. Now you will never go wrong. The picture size will always reduce in proportion. It will not get distorted. So this is how you can resize your picture. Then you will find that this picture has got a symbol which is associated with it. This symbol is called as the anchor. Anchor is the place where this picture is anchored. So wherever you're going to keep your cursor and then click on insert and picture, that is the place which is going to be anchor for that picture. So you will find that the anchor for this new picture is this place. This is the anchor. It's associated with that particular place. You might move your picture anywhere on the document, but the anchor remains at that place itself, right? So this is about the picture. Then we also have various formatting with the picture. The moment you click on the picture, you will get this picture dialog box, with the help of which you can format the picture, change the properties of the picture.